Okay, Lee, you know the area very well. What are some of the hidden gems or up and coming neighborhoods in the Durham region that you're excited about? And what trends are you seeing there?
Okay, so this is kind of almost funny because if you're from the GTA, I'm originally from Scarborough. Houses that were closer to the lake were always much more money. And if you are actually on the lake, like down in the beaches or east beaches, or you paid a huge premium to be close to the water. In Oshawa, for whatever reason, it's been sort of backwards for the last 50 years. So, but now that's changed, and this is where answering your question. So, I was just down at the foot of Park Road the other day, south of the GM plant, and they're building a brand new, beautiful subdivision right there on the water, overlooking the lake. And then I went along Stone Street, that went over to the lakeside and the river and the lakefront park. Just absolutely gorgeous, and you can actually live in that area for what you would normally pay anywhere else. But it's changing. I keep thinking to myself, the smart people are buying down here now because they all know what happens in every other city on the planet. The closer you are to water, the more you pay. So there's a huge opportunity here for young families too, because there's a lot of semi or styles of homes that are either from condos to townhouse condos to condos, freehold condos, and then semis in that area. And in fact, there's streets, many streets that you could get in on that, as well as detached homes. And then of course the new development. Now, having said that, you've got the university, and you got the tech and the college. What do you call it? On Simcoe Street, they're right at between Colin and Winchester, and there's a huge amount of development going on up there. And then everything is sort of north of Taunton now. Just one new development after another with all the amenities close by. So the planners have had their day, and they're actually coming to fruition now. And I think no matter where you look, you go to the east end, the north end, the south end, you're going to find what you want. And then you get to use an experienced agent that knows where some of the better deals are, some of the better streets. Then it's really good to know somebody local here, because it can change from block to block, and location is important. And when it comes to having the right schools, being close to medical facilities and shopping, again, we have all that at our fingertips. And we know, having sold real estate for 30 some odd years in this town, I've been there when they bought, and I've been there when they sold, and they've been very happy when they bought, and they've been very happy when they sold, because they had the appreciation that I promised them that they would have. Because again, Oshawa is a strong market. It's not as susceptible to some of the other markets that are surrounding the GTA, because it is always a favorite choice of people who want to be close to the GTA and not pay the price.
Excellent. Now, for sellers who are preparing their home for sale,
Yeah.
what are the top three improvements or changes that consistently deliver the best return on their investment?
Yeah, so this is funny because I have an ongoing discussion, we should say, with my stager. She just tells me to stay out of her lane. Whatever you do, don't talk to your clients about staging, because you have no idea. And I do, but she's such a good stager. She doesn't even want me to talk about paint and stuff. But I guess everybody seems to know that for the cost, for the benefit of return you get on a home, any improvement, paint is always a big thing. But I would say prior to that, even psychologically speaking, people are on the way into the house when they pull up to it, curb appeal they call it. They've already decided whether they like it or not, and then it's just a matter of convincing themselves. So you want to make sure that when people are approaching your house from the street, it shows really well. Driveway's good, gardens are trimmed, grass is trimmed, edged. That red door, if you need that, that's always sort of a ongoing plug. Good lighting, that kind of stuff. Christmas wreath, that kind of stuff this time of year. Anything and everything to make it look inviting. And then when they come in, they're already leaning negative or positive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great advice.
Yeah. And then, like,
Now,
just to finish that, Kristie, obviously everybody knows kitchens and bathrooms, right? So if you've got good renovated, updated kitchens and bathrooms, and floors too, because when people walk in, they don't walk in like this; they look down. So again, I got this from my stager. It's floors, walls, and ceilings in that order.
right.
Yeah.
Now, how has technology changed the way that you service your clients? What tools or strategies do you use to give them an advantage in this competitive market?
Yeah, so that's a really good question too, because a lot of a lot of the past, I guess, success tech was that the realtors controlled a lot of the information. And we don't do that anymore because you as a member of the public can go on a number of different sites and get the same information you can get almost instantly. In some cases quicker. Like if I'm driving sometimes, I won't use our MLS system. I'll use this one because I can talk to my phone and it will give it to me and not ask me to sign in and give my codes and all the other stuff, right? But so technology has really changed in terms of getting information that they want to them quickly and accurately because information is huge when you're buying a house. And then you can there's all different things you can do too. You can do a neighborhood search. In fact, I have an app on my system that'll give me the why the neighborhood's good, specifically that particular neighborhood, schools, parks, all that stuff that comes with that. I don't know. Does that answer your question? I get
No, I think you're right. That it used to be that the realtor held all of the information, all of the data, whereas now it is widely available. And I think what most buyers and sellers need help with is actually distilling that information and getting out of it what's important and not being overwhelmed with all of the options and choices. I think that's really why people still look to real estate agents to help them navigate through this process because there's so many variables, so many things to take into consideration. It's such a big event, big investment. And it does require someone who is really knowledgeable and can help guide them through that process.
I agree. And one of the things that we do is we do a buyer interview and a buyer criteria form. And then we actually have one party and the other party do it separately and then come together. It's amazing how many times they have a different vision. So it'd be really helpful to us as professionals to have some sort of unified vision so we're not getting involved in going down that road and that road. Because at the end of the day, when you find what they're looking for, and no matter what the market is, chances are if you found it, somebody else is about to find it. So the people that looked at it yesterday that are making their mind up today are the ones that are going to beat you to it because you saw it today and you're going to think about it tomorrow. So you want to be in the position that you can make that decision because you have the information you need. You don't need to go home. And so, because when somebody says they're going to think about it, that tells me they're just looking for more information. So I haven't done my job if they're telling me that because I want to have them armed and dangerous, if you will, when they go looking at houses. So they're prepped, and we're prepped because we know what they're looking for. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, what is your advice for buyers who are struggling with inventory shortages or abundance, right? Or bidding wars.
Yeah.
How can buyers now position themselves to really win without overpaying?
So first of all, being quick with information and getting the listings to your buyer ASAP before the rest of the public, I guess, has easy access to it. So I guess what I'm trying to say there is a lot of times I make a habit and I make a lot of money actually by dealing with properties that are so-called off market. So these would be distressed sales that I get through some of my contacts, banks, lawyers, and so on and so forth. And then even my own clients that are thinking of selling. In fact, I sell an abnormal amount of my own listings because I set myself up to make sure that my sellers, while they're prepping with the stager and so on, I've got a database of buyers that I know are looking for that property, and I will give them a heads up on it, and they will get through it before it goes on the so-called public site of the multiple listing service. So they understand that they're getting priority access, and I tell my people who would say, well, some people might say, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you put it on MLS? Because I say to the seller, give me your no dicker sticker price, and that's what the buyer will pay. So you're getting exactly what you want. They're getting what they want. It's a win-win-win. They get the price. They get the house. They don't have to stand in line. They don't have to do a bidding war. They don't have to lose out. And then if you go the other way to the bidding war, I won't wait for the bidding war date. I will do a bully offer right away. And if I'm the first guy into that house, nobody else has seen it, and I send this information to my people so they get it quickly, and then we get out to see it before the people see all the other people that would come in after us and then get cocky. We go in, we like it, we buy it, and we just do what's called, quote unquote, a bully offer if the listing agent and the seller will allow it. So I try to take advantage of all those strategies that I've learned over the years, and I try to implement them one after another. A lot of times it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you don't know unless you try.
Right, but obviously you've got a lot of different tools and moves and things that
Yeah.
you've learned over the years that are a great benefit to your buyers and also sellers.
Yeah.
So maybe you could share a success story with us where your local market knowledge or some of these special programs that you offer really made a crucial difference in helping a client achieve their real estate goals.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, first of all, on that note, I'm very competitive. I've got a competitive. Don't shake the table. Um, yeah, a very athletic background. So I love winning. It's just what I do, and my clients seem to like it because it's better for them if I win because they're winning with me, right? Or I'm winning with them. So, and that comes. I'm negotiating a bit of a rep for being a bulldog. But again, negotiating is just another form of competition. And if you haven't got your tools out and ready to go, then we're gonna win, right? So I want people to know that there's a definite way to do that. And when it comes to a recent story where we had that kind of situation, we had a property that that somebody really wanted, and we were told that we'd have to wait for it to be prepped, and we asked for a pre MLS showing, and it basically what just happened. We got through it. People fell in love with it. The agent didn't like the idea of us bringing an offer before it even got to MLS, but when my people went through, they actually said hello to the sellers and said enough to gather some sort of, well, look, they're newlyweds. They got new children, young children. And there was some sort of a connection there, and anyways, that led to a deal before it even got in the MLS. And the sellers were happy with what they got, and my buyers were absolutely. They were just. In fact, they called me and said, "We just love living here. Thank you so much."
That's amazing.
Yeah, they got what they wanted. They got more than they thought they'd be able to afford, and they got into the school district, and they're close to mom and dad, and it just worked out really good. So I can't help but smile when that kind of stuff works. And again, my dad always said, the answer will always be no unless you ask. So, and if you don't ask, you never know. So I always go, please sell me your house. My people want your house.
Exactly. I've got your buyers right here.
Yeah, just tell me what you
Let's
want.
make this happen.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah.
Amazing. So let's look ahead for the next 12 to 18 months. What trends or changes do you anticipate in our local market, and how should buyers and sellers prepare?
Yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of, well, the media is always negative, right? Because that apparently sells itself. So I'm a very positive person, and I've seen sales. We actually, I think we're selling more every month, a little bit more than we did last year anyway. So sales, the volume's up, I believe. At least it was last time I checked. Prices are suffering from the politics of what's going on with the economy, which I have no control over at all. But I think, again, if you're buying and selling in the same market, it's a wash because whatever especially, okay, put it this way: if you're moving up and the market's going down, say 10%. And you're going, say, from 700 to a million, well, okay, if the market comes down by 10%, you're winning as opposed to if you're going to a smaller house. So if you're moving up in a market that is maybe softening, you have a tendency to win because the percentage of $1 million is more than the percentage of a 700, right? So you're selling at 7, you're buying at $1 million. Other than that, from a buyer's point of view, there's a lot of choice. You should be able to find exactly what you want. You should be able to negotiate the deal you want. You should be able to put the contingencies in the offer that you want, i.e., the inspection that we talked about, home inspection, financing, all the stuff that you might not, another house to sell, we'll put that in there as well. So you're never ever going to be in a position that you may find yourself, well, with me it wouldn't happen anyways because I guarantee the sale and or the purchase, but you don't want to be putting yourself in a position under pressure per se, where you need to sell quickly because you bought and the market's not doing what it should be doing. Because right now there's a huge amount of selection out there. So as far as selling goes, you want an agent that just knows how to get top dollar, that's got experience. You've heard me say this before. Experience does not have to be expensive in real estate, but I can tell you it's very, very much priceless. Many times I've seen my experience be priceless, and it's really paid off. So, and then of course I have people assisting me. We have people that are doing the phones. We have people that are doing my marketing. I'm blessed to know you and your company and how you help me with the internet. Having a presence and just being able to get your message out there. You don't want to be a secret agent, and you don't want your listings to be a secret. So we blast everything out there to all our people over and over again. So, and again, if you're on my buyers list, you'll find out about it before anybody on MLS finds out about it. So that means that should give you an option. Here's another thing we just started doing. Actively being proactive. You tell me where you want to live, like give me a subdivision, and we will actually go in and canvass that subdivision with a note from you saying, this is who I am. My wife and I want to live in this subdivision for this reason, that reason, mom and dad, the school, the area. And please contact our realtor if you're thinking about selling. And how many times we've done that, and the people have said, we were just talking about putting our house on the market, and we got this note. And we really like the fact that you've introduced us to the buyers, and what a lovely family. We'd like to meet them and maybe do a deal. And that's just not something most agents do, right? So anyways, a little bit of extra effort goes a long way. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a great way to market by letting the sellers know that you have a buyer who is looking to
A real
buy
buyer. Yeah.
a
A real
real
buyer.
buyer that is ready to buy their home.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
sellers want.
Yes,
Sellers at the end of the day, they want buyers. So if
on
you
that
can
note too, I was just talking to one of my, sorry to cut you off there, we're talking to our coaching group, and then again, as far as I'm concerned, you can never be experienced enough to not need coaching, because we all need to stop the drift, and we all learn from each other's experience. So we have a bit of a neat coaching group that we sit and we meet 2 or 3 times a week, and go to different conventions around the planet to meet with some of the best sellers and listers and realtors on the planet. But we've got some really good. We got some really good influence on the, like, if you hang with the eagles, you'll soar with them, and if you hang with the turkeys, you'll just gobble a lot, right? So, so I'm always making sure that I'm surrounding myself with top-notch people that are always sharing their top-notch ideas, and it's all been proven. It's not, I don't have to learn by going through trial and error. I just said that works. I'm going to copy and paste it, and that's really helped me be successful in this industry. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, you definitely are a huge success, and I wish you continued success. And thank you so much for sharing some of your expertise with our audience today. What is the best way for people to get a hold of you, Lee?
Yeah, so I'm gonna I'll give you my again. It's funny sometimes when I want to get a hold of a realtor, how hard it is to get a number. So I'm just going to give you my cell number, because I'm a very approachable guy. And at the end of the day, I assume that you're like me. I want to talk to that person who just gave me that information. I don't want to talk to a bot. I don't want to talk to an assistant that blah, blah, blah. So anyway, my number is 905-431-0710.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And people can check you out online by going to the colbyteam.com.
Yeah.
And we will put all of this information into the notes as well.
Yeah.
And I think that we'll probably wrap it there, Lee, but thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Kristie. Okay, bye-bye.